What is going on, everybody? So, we're here back with another stream. As these notifications go out, as usual, you already know about that. But today, we are going to be talking about this update that we've been seeing that's going around. It came out over this weekend, and wow, what an amazing time! So, if you're new to the channel, if you just came across for the first time, hit that subscribe and show your support. All right, so let's give it a few more seconds and we'll get started. All right, so let's get started into this thing. So, like I posted, if you've seen the video, this right now is making headlines, if you want to say, and people all over social media are talking, and this is a very good thing that for us that are fighting for David Ayer with Suicide Squad to get his cut of Suicide Squad, the Ayer cut, and of course for us Snyder fans that we want restore the Snyderverse to be fully restored and for it to be back. And things are shifting, things are changing. We're about to get into this, so I appreciate everybody that's joined, everybody that's watching, and all that stuff. So make sure to drop your comments because I will be reading back and forth and interacting with y'all and stuff like that. So hope everyone's having a happy Sunday and all that good stuff. So sending positive vibes everywhere to everyone. Hey, what's up, Sean? Appreciate you watching. All right, so like you've all seen the whole thing with WB. Apparently, there is right now a deal that they've struck with Comcast, and Comcast is interesting. When it comes to this topic, because hey, what's going on, Transformers? Appreciate you here hanging out with y'all. Just doing this live stream. So we got to talk about this. We really have to talk about this. This whole thing with Comcast. We know we've been saying for a while, what if Comcast were to acquire the rights of WB and the IPs, with DC and all that stuff, or whatever it comes, from that and stuff. Hey, what's going on, Geek Defense? Appreciate you passing by. And, this is interesting because, of course, we have Netflix that's also interested. But on this one, we have Comcast that apparently has made a deal with WB and they want to do a long term contract. Now, why is this important and what is it going to do? What is it going to bring and all that good stuff? Very simple. Let's get to the point. So, Comcast wants David Ayer and Zack Snyder. They've been mentioned and, in all these meetings and things like that. So, that is very good because if you look at the post that I just posted on my account of what is it, YouTube, look at the post that I just put up. All right. And this is recent. Today is September 15, 2024. This picture is literally from September 13, 2024. A few days ago, what, 2 days ago at the time of this recording, David Ayer posted a picture of the WB water tower and he's looking up at it as if he's going inside of the studios. Now, this is just me speculating, but at the same time, a lot can be said from this. Why is David Ayer posting a picture of WB when he hasn't done anything with WB recently? You see what I'm saying? So anything is coming from this. Anything that's possible. All right. Let me check out the comment real quick. If Ayer's tweet is real, then I think the Ayer cut is confirmed. Exactly. Geek Defense. That's what I think is coming from this. He's probably hinting and saying, hey, look, things are happening. Just hang in there. We're making things, change. And now all of a sudden, we get this update from Cinehouse. All right. If you follow Cinehouse on X, also known as Twitter, they posted this a week ago, not of the whole reveal, but they had said throughout the week early, they were like, oh, we got something special for, people for the Snyderverse and stuff like that, that we're going to be announcing. And these are the only ones that are right now announcing this. And now other, outlets are starting to pick up on this. And this just came out yesterday. We're talking about within the past 24 hours. And, like, and like I said, and when you read it, it's telling you, it's not saying rumor, it's saying like this is a statement that's confirmed, saying that WB and Comcast want to do long-term contract. And among, like the streaming that they have with Max and stuff, they want alternative DC shows outside of the DCU. Now let's pause and analyze that, right? if you have a reboot and you're the studio and you have a streaming service, why do you want alternate TV shows or shows of DC? I thought this was a whole reboot. You see what I'm saying? So that's sending signals saying, hey, look, we're putting just in case as a backup, these are the ideas. And then what do they have? Among those meetings, they brought up Zack Snyder and David Ayer because, of course, they're going to be asking, well, how are your numbers on your streaming service with HBO Max, also known as Max? WB's gonna be like, well, we haven't really been doing good. If I was on Comcast, like people or whatever team, I would be telling WB, we want to invest in your company. We want to give you this amount of money, but we want to know what our ROI, our return on investment, is going to be, especially when it comes to streaming. Because if I'm going to give you money as a studio, right, and I'm the company, I want to know what I'm going to get in return, as in viewers, people that are going to subscribe, because of course, subscribers equals money. And with these corporations and all these companies, that's what they want. It's all about money. Whenever you hear and see things, in the end, it's not about friendships, it's about money. And what these corporations want is that money. So they want high subscriptions, people that are going to pay and stuff like that. So when you have Comcast telling WB, hey, what about David Ayer and his Suicide Squad? What's the deal with that? I'm sure there's been talks about that. And I'm sure that they've been like, well, what about Zack Snyder? He's making money with Netflix. They're gaining a lot of subscribers. Meanwhile, you guys are in the dump and you guys are losing subscribers trying to make a deal, strike a deal with your competitor, that's Disney. And notice how they're not even advertising that. They spoke about it. Remember, they were talking about it during the early summer. And we're already like what? Ending summer. We're about to enter fall of 2024. And I have not really seen marketing about that whole bundle with Disney Plus and HBO Max because both of them are in the dump. Now, Comcast being a big profit company, right? And hear me out on this. They have the money because they've sponsored, and they put ads with what is it, the NFL and the football and all these big events and stuff like that. So you have millions of people watching. You think that Comcast wouldn't be interested? Hell yeah, they're gonna be interested because they know and they can make money off of David Ayer and of course with Zack Snyder. You think they're just gonna sit on it and be like, you know what, we're not gonna do anything with it? No, they're going to want to capitalize on it, and they're gonna be like, look, we're going to spend this much. And let's not forget, Comcast also owns Xfinity. Xfinity is the biggest company of cable out there, all right? And not only cable, they offer, phone services and all this stuff, okay? So they have money. There's no, and ifs or but. No, they're making money on a daily, constantly. So they're about money. And they're going to be like, look, we want to invest. We want David Ayer back and we want Zack Snyder back. We know that the fans want it and there's been a demand for it. But you guys as WB have been ignoring them. If we come on board, we want to cater to our fans, our audience that are equal to dollar signs. And that's how it is. It's sad, but it's true. That's how it works. It's a business. They give us entertainment, we give them money. See what I'm saying? So when it comes down to this, you know damn well that the studio needs money. WB is straight up desperate to make money any way possible. All right. And at the same time, while this is happening, all right, there's another picture that I posted if you follow me. And this is interesting because apparently Zack Snyder has been walking back into WB offices. And James Gunn is seeing this. You think James Gunn isn't nervous? Of course he is. Because he's like, whoa, hold on. I can't stop this. Of course, you don't have that authority, James. You just have a limited authority. And above him is David Zaslav. So what I think is going on, and this is what we've been talking and speculating around about for a while. David Zaslav knows that WB, the brand itself with DC, is in the toilet right now. He knows it. David Zaslav has no idea how to run this company since day one that he took the position. of the owner of WB and this whole merger with Discovery. All he's been doing is playing golf. This guy has no idea how to run this. So he's seeing that everything is backfiring on him. So before things go even worse, why not fix it while you can? That's what I would do. So what is he gonna do? Okay, the contract is done with James Gunn. He can't go back and he can't fire him yet. But that contract has a number of days on it. For example, a 2 year, 5 year, 6 year contract. Once that contract is up, let me emphasize that. Once the contract is up with James Gunn and WB, he's done. There's no coming back from it. All right. That's like you being a contractor, whatever job you do. You're hired for a certain amount of time, not forever. You're not an employee. You work with them, yes, but you're not directly with the company. You're just a contractor, meaning you're doing a term from X amount of time. Let's say, for example, James Gunn's contract only is for 5 years. All right. With everything that's been going on, we're already probably like what, 3 years in, 2.5. By the time Superman comes out, we're almost at the 3 year, and then he has 2 years left. Of course, he's going to be panicking, running, trying to get everything established and do it. This is why it's so messy, because he knows he has a short time to do everything that he can, and he can't. That's the thing. He knows that the fans want David Ayer and his Suicide Squad, the Ayer Cut, to be released. He knows that the majority of fans want Zack Snyder back, and they want the Snyderverse to be restored. And of course, look at the success that Netflix is having. You think WB isn't craving that money? Of course they are. You think Disney isn't? Of course they are. They must be crying, regretting not giving Rebel Moon a chance. And say what you want. Rebel Moon is a success. That's why Netflix is making money off of that. They have subscribers and all that stuff. Now, when it comes to WB with DC, Comcast is like, hey, well, if you guys are going to do this whole reboot, I'm sure they're probably saying, where does David Ayer and Zack Snyder fall into play? Now, you imagine those meetings. Let's just sit here and look at it. Picture it. WB executives. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then all of a sudden, you have somebody from Comcast, and they're like, hey, well, what about David Ayer and Zack Snyder? What about his Suicide Squad? What about Zack Snyder's Justice League? Is that just going to end up in the air? What happens to this? What happens to that? More questions. You open a Pandora's box of questions. And then the executives of WB are going to be like, well, they're not in our plans. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. What do you mean that they're not in your plans? You want us, Comcast, to invest and spend this amount of money, but you don't want to give us and the fans quality, especially knowing that there's a huge campaign of fans asking for Restore the Snyderverse? As a matter of fact, explain to me what Restore the Snyderverse means. And then you have the studio, well, it's just, and then of course you're going to have James Gunn in there saying, oh, it's just some fans that they want Zack Snyder back. Well, why aren't you bringing him back? I know I would crack down. I'll be like, why you guys are not bringing that back? Bring Zack back and bring David Ayer back. That's what the fans are asking for, right? No wonder you guys are losing money, because you're not catering to your fans, your audience, your loyal fan base, your customers, and your consumers. You don't give them that, you're going to go bankrupt. It's just a matter of time before you file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And we, the fans, know what we want. And that's what people need to accept. The fans, the Snyder fans, are the majority. We always have, and we've always been there. It's just WB that's been playing WB games, trying to keep us in the dark. But enough is enough. Now you have Comcast. And this is the beautiful part about this. Check this out. So for some people that are like, well, Comcast is going to come into play, that means Disney's going to come into play. Wrong. No. False. You know why? Because here in the United States of America, we have laws and regulations that they protect you from certain things. And one of them is a monopoly, right? You can't have one corporation owning the entertainment, the business, the politics, and the list continues. There's limits. Disney cannot. Let me repeat that. Disney cannot own everything. You have to have competition. This is why you have WB, you have Paramount Pictures, you have Sony, you have all these. If it was up to Disney, Disney will swallow everything like a sinkhole, because they want everything. They're greedy like that. But of course, thanks to our laws, It protects us, right? Disney cannot touch and own everything. Now, here's the beautiful part I was saying. When it comes to Comcast, they're privately owned. They're owned by banks. Google it. Go look it up if you don't believe me. And they're owned by private investors. So that means if you have money, I'm sure there's a plug here and there and stuff like that to get into it. But you're not going to appear. You know why? Because they're private. So you can't bribe those people. And you can't come here and be like, hey, look, like Disney, if you come and give me, I'll give you this. Piss out with that. Nobody's going to want that. These are private investors, people about money. Either you're going to make money for us and with us or get away from us. And this is what it looks like it's coming down. Comcast is not playing. Comcast is about money. So you think that they're going to be like, well, we're not going to, invest and not get money back. No, they're going to want to invest, get their money back. Plus, on top, they want extra money. So the investors that WB has right now, I'm sure they're fed up. And we can see it. You might be like, well, how? Very simple. Look at the quality of Joker 2. That movie is getting so many negative reviews. And I get it. Some of you like that version and that world, whatever you want to call it. That's cool. But it's not going to make $1 billion like it did the first one. They're lowballing on what they're going to make back on what they're spending. They're lowering their standards. It's okay to accept a flop if it flops. It shouldn't be like that. No business should be, hey, if we lose money, it's okay. We're going to lose money. No, then why are you even in business in the first place? If you're in business, right, for over 100 years, WB, why are you pushing it to lowball yourself? You should be setting up standards that the fans, your customers want. And they're not doing that. That's where the problem comes into play. Now, when you have Comcast, that's a high roller, and they're like, look, we want Zach back and we want David Ayer back, and we want to do alternative projects, shows, movies. We'll get into that right now. And whatever other things we want that too. It's still part of the DC brand. You can go ahead and have your DCU reboot, do what you want to do, but we want to have alternative product just in case those shows fail and flop. And they are, because we already know that everything that James Gunn's putting out has been and it will be a failure. The Suicide Squad flopped. Don't argue with me. It flopped. Accept it. Peacemaker, it's trash. Nobody cares about it. Nobody. Creature Commandos? Who asked for Creature Commandos? Majority of us did not. A minority, maybe, not enough. And then you have Superman, that it sounds like a complete mess. Yeah, that tells you everything. And then on top of that, James Gunn is rushing trying to make Supergirl. You know why? Because he's nervous. He knows that his days at WB are numbered. So he's going to try to pace and be like, you know what? I'm going to try to put this, I'm going to try to build this, but I'm going to try to slap this on it. It's like you have a balloon and all the water's leaking, and you're like, you know what? Slap tape over here. I'll put some putty over here. You know what? I'll put this one probably with a stapler, and it's still going to leak. I'm exaggerating. The whole point is you're not getting anywhere with it, right? That's exactly how James Gunn and his DCU reboot is a complete mess. It's a cluster. It's completely a mess. Now, Comcast knows that Zack Snyder is a brand. They know that David Ayer, especially with his version of Suicide Squad, is there. It's just marinating. It's already, it's just ready to be released, if you want to say. So Comcast must be like, you know what? We know there's a fan demand. We know people want to pay for it. They haven't released it. So all of a sudden, what are we going to do now? We have to release the Ayer Cut in order to make some money. And that's what they're going to want to do, make some money. Why would you not want to release the Ayer Cut? It's been all this time. People are still asking about it. It trends. And you don't want to give the fans what they want? It makes no sense. Make it make sense. That's where this comes into play. And that's what WB needs to wake up. Recognize your audience and give your audience what they want. They want the Snyderverse and they want the Ayerverse. Give it to them, because that fan base is going to give you money. and it's going to support you. It's been doing it all these years because all of a sudden now you just strip the fans, the consumer, and you rob them. You promised them all these movies that you were going to do with Zack Snyder, and they're just there up in the air. Zack Snyder has not moved on. Let me repeat that. To everybody that's saying, oh, well, Zack has moved on. No, he hasn't. Zack is still down to come out and do more for WB with DC. Accept it. The fact is that Zack is ready to come back. He's waiting for the call. Ben Affleck is waiting for the call. Gal Gadot is waiting for the call. Henry Cavill is waiting for the call. Ray Fisher, Ray Porter, Ezra Miller, Amber Heard, Jason Momoa, all these actors and actresses, right? You're gonna tell me that they won't come back to reprise their role? You're the one that's delusional because they will come back. If you have old man Michael Keaton coming back at age 72 to do the flush and reprise his role as Batman, and they did what they did to him in that movie, you think these actors and actresses won't come back? Of course they would in a second because they're thankful and grateful to Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is the one who put them where they're at today in their career. Yes, they made other movies, but they weren't known as they are now. That's the difference. That's what Zack does. It's amazing. That's what quality does. Comcast making this move and doing this is what we need because enough is enough. If Comcast sees potential in it, and it looks like they are, because they're saying, we want to do an alternative DC show outside of the DCU, and names like David Ayer and Zack Snyder have been mentioned. What does that tell you? They know that there's a fan base, they know that there's money, and that's what people want. People do not want, and it's proven by now. In 2023, we saw what the Marvel formula was at DC. So all you fake fans out there saying, hey, you know what we need at DC? We need it to be just like Marvel. No, no, we don't. It didn't work and it's not going to work. Enough is enough. It didn't work with anything in 2023. That was the whole Marvel formula inside of WB. It didn't work. Fans don't want that. Not enough fans want that. I get it. Two or three probably want it. No, but majority want the Snyderverse. They want something that's rough, that's been, like completely brute. I mean, you want this serious tone, but with a comic book feel. I don't want what James Gunn is giving me. That's all nothing but just silliness, goofiness. It's just a circus with an R-rated label on it. It doesn't work like that. You have David Ayer that was connected into Zack Snyder's universe being its own thing, and you're gonna throw that away, make it make sense. You're gonna have Zack Snyder's epic Justice League, and you're gonna end it there. You're just gonna leave Darkseid facing the Justice League, but they never fight, they never go off, they never face off or anything. Make it make sense. That's why Comcast is probably like, you know what? We can make so much money with this, especially the studio that's sinking right now. Come on. You know, Zaslav's all about money too. But where's the quality? Where's the quality you promised the fans? They haven't been delivering. And don't come here try to blame Zack Snyder, and don't come here and try to blame David Ayer and say, well, you know what? Because of David Ayer and because of Zack Snyder. Don't say it. You know why? Because it's useless. Without Zack Snyder and without David Ayer, everything with WB and their DC properties in the cinematic universe I'm talking about, not comics and not anything else, just the cinematic universe has been tanking. And you can see the charts and the numbers. They just get worse and worse. And WB knows, and they're probably panicking. And they're like, you know what? We know James Gunn's DCU with this whole reboot isn't going to make fans happy. Not enough. It's not enough. The Suicide Squad, which was the first movie that James Gunn did for DC inside of WB, already proves what's to come. Flops after flops after more flops. Except the WB, except the James Gunn fans, he doesn't deliver here at DC. At Marvel, that's fine because he has Marvel and Disney to back him up. So of course they're gonna give him all the publicity. But here, it's not happening. It's not going to happen. And we, the fans, have had enough. We're speaking with our wallets. 2023 proved to everybody that we, the fans, came together. We kept our wallets closed. That's why these movies tanked. Shazam 2 tanked. Unfortunately, Black Adam tanked. And the reason why it tanked is not because, oh, well, it was part of the Snyderverse and, you got Henry Cavill, but you guys couldn't support it enough. Shut up. You want to know why it failed? You know why Black Adam didn't do the numbers that they expected? One, because there was no China release. That's a big market. Two, they threw Henry Cavill last minute. Literally, they threw him in there and they were like, you know what? We're going to lure the fans and say Henry Cavill. And then it leaked online. So everybody saw that scene online. And when they saw that it was a 4-second cameo, we weren't going to accept that. I, as a fan, did not accept it. I saw the leak online before I saw it in the theaters. And when I saw it in the theaters, some of the people were like, who's that? You know why? Because WB has sat and they've let Henry Cavill slip into the darkness. That's the fact. The fact is, WB has not used Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, the trinity of the brand, to the fullest. That's like Marvel sitting back on Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. It wouldn't make sense, right? Make it make sense. Now, Comcast coming into play, they're like, yo, we want to spend money, but we're going to make money. And not only that, we're going to keep the fans happy. And this right here is on the start to the right path. And this is how we're winning. You know, that's incredible. It's incredible. It tells you that people want more of it. You get what I'm saying? So this is interesting, and for everybody saying, oh, the Snyderverse isn't going to make a comeback. Yes, it is. It's making a comeback. It's slowly being rebuilt right under our noses. If you can't see that and you don't accept that, you live in la la land. You're snoozing away on a cloud while we, the ones that know what's going on, see it, how clearly the bridge is being repaired again. And not only being repaired, it's going to set a different course where things are going to connect again. I firmly believe, and I see now more than ever, that the Snyderverse is making a comeback. They're just preparing it. They're preparing it in a way where they're going to surprise us in a way that we do not know. And I think it's all setting up. Once Superman flops in 2025, we'll know more in details. But these things coming out left and right is no coincidence. These are things that are leaking from the inside. And it's awesome and it's amazing. This is why I keep on fighting for each and every one of us. I'm the one here taking the mockeries, the insults, the threats, and the list continues. It's fine by me, but we will stop at nothing. A lot of people need to accept that we, the Snyderverse fans, are the majority and we will win. Victory will be ours. The same way how everybody was saying that we would never get the Snyder cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League. But we proved you wrong. And we have the Snyder cut today, released on physical copies and streaming. That tells you a lot. Now, what can come from all this? All right, we'll get into that right now. Let me go ahead and read some comments. So drop your comments if you want me to read them. So I'll check them out real quick. See where I left off. T.Y. Skyberg. I hope Comcast will restore Snyderverse and release the Ayer Cut. Yes, yes. That's what we're fighting for, and I think it's going to happen. If it happens, just think of the possibilities, bro. The numbers would be outstanding. Guns Universe would be overshadowed very quickly. I truly hope this happens. Yes, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's coming from it. All right. Investing in Comcast right now. Nice, nice. If you have the money, do it now because now is the time. All right. Let's see. What's up, Leroy? Appreciate you watching. Yeah, James Gunn fails. These clowns fail. Yep. Preach 85 was good, bro. Was good, man. Here. You already know, just chilling with y'all and stuff like that. All right. Mad Max, DC Snyderverse fans, salute. Exactly. Salute to all y'all. We're here strong and growing every day more and more. All right, let's see. So I keep hearing he's making a Teen Titans movie. You think that's true? Who's gonna make it? If Zack Snyder or James Gunn? If Zack Snyder, I mean that would be cool, but James Gunn, I'm not interested. All right, Gunn chose these projects like Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, Amanda Waller, because they are characters. Yeah, they're characters, but they're characters from the DCEU, and pretty much he's stealing credit from David Ayer without giving him the proper credit. Let's accept the fact that Zaslav will sell WB. That's what we're waiting for. Hopefully, this is why we had to speak with our wallets. We speak with our wallets, and we're sending the message saying enough is enough. Bring back Zack Snyder would be headline news. Releasing the Ayer Cut would spark the fire again for the universe to be restored. Exactly, that's what we need, and that's why I'm here. I'm here fighting for y'all because I noticed that there's a lot of people that don't want to talk about the Snyderverse because it's so controversial. Man, get out of here with that. Either you're gonna stick with it or you're gonna bounce. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm here. Like I told y'all, even if I'm the last one standing, I'm still gonna be fighting for what I believe and I sincerely stand for, and that's for the Snyderverse and David Ayer's, Suicide Squad. I will stop at nothing, honestly. And let's see, we want completion of Zack's five-part Superman epic. Yes, yes, that's what we want. We need it, and we will have it in due time. Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of ghost watching. I already know what you're talking about. All right, so let's see. Yep, wallets closed. Wallets closed. Keep those wallets closed, locked, triple lock. Yep, that's how it is. All right, Deadpool used Cavill's star power and exposed WB. True, 100%. They lied and said nobody wanted to see Cavill and Black Adam, but Cavill's cameo in Deadpool was the most talked about cameo. Warner Brothers is a dirty studio. Exactly. True, my friend. Very true. They don't want to admit their faults and mistakes. And we, the fans, know and we catch and we are speaking with our wallets. That's it. That's how we get them. That's how we win. Exactly. We will stop at nothing to possess us. Exactly. That's how we do it. All right. All right. We never saw David Ayer DC movie. Suicide Squad was just stolen. They never released it. That's why we're here fighting for it. James Gunn's the Suicide Squad doesn't classify. That's just to me is like a what if. You get what I'm saying? A knockoff. All right, that's that Studio Squad. That's true. Another Justice League scenario. Yep. Go ahead, drop your comments. I'm already caught up. All right, so let's dive into this a little bit more. All right. When it comes to this, let's say this agreement does happen and things does they do start moving forward. All right, what can come from this? There's so much that can come from this. All right. I'm going to get into it real quick. You have HBO Max, also known as Max. It's just like Netflix, just like Disney Plus. They're a streaming service. So, what can they do to get the most for their money? Very simple. All right. You guys want to do your little penguin show with Robert Pattinson and his universe? That's fine. You want to do Creature Commandos and do your little shows? That's fine. Go for it. Now you imagine that all of a sudden now WB makes an announcement through a special event or something, and they announce this is me speculating. They announce DC fandom, right? They're bringing back DC fandom, and they have it, you know, I guess like something like partnership with Comcast or provided by Comcast, whatever. It's a marketing thing. I'm giving you guys ideas, you see? And then all of a sudden, they announce it. We want to tell you fans and give you something special. Just because you guys have been asking by popular demand, we're going to release the Ayer Cut. Boom. You're already going to go subscribers with that. Not only that, we're also bringing in David Ayer to do this project and to do that project. Gotham City Sirens, Suicide Squad 2, a proper Suicide Squad 2. Oh, snap. You already have more to offer on your streaming service. And then on top of that, now we want to let you all know that Zach is back. And we're going to be moving forward and we're going to do that prequel of 300. Oh, we already saw how that went on the internet. Just that little quick announcement. And then they're like, yo, well, we have something special. For all you fans of Zack Snyder, we've heard you, we've been listening, and we want to cater to you, the fans. This one's for you. And then all of a sudden, they just turn the whole screen black. And all of a sudden, you just get in big bold letters, restored. And they come out and they're like, yo, we have Zack Snyder here. We want to let you know. And then Zack just jumps on and say, hey, look, I'm back and we're restoring the Snyderverse. Boom. You imagine that? The possibilities are endless, my friends. They're endless. This is why we need more people to keep on talking about this, because the hype is there. It's real. People want that excitement. It's crazy how when James Gunn, quote unquote, trends, it's only for like mockery and jokes and memes. But along with that, you have Zack Snyder that trends, you have David Ayer's Suicide Squad that trends, and you have the Snyderverse that doesn't stop. It keeps on growing. It's a monster when it comes to streaming. I mean, not streaming, social media. And the numbers just keep growing every time more and more. So that shows you fans have not moved on. The general audience is interested. The new audience wants to know what happened. Why did it leave off there? Like, who's this character? Who's Darkseid? You have McFarlane Toys putting out Snyderverse toys out. Why? I thought it was a dead universe. Oh, it's not going to sell. Nope, false. On the contrary, it's going to sell, and you know it's going to sell. And it keeps on selling. You know why? Because it's quality. It sells. People want it. I remember when they were bringing out what is it what is it Superman from Henry Cavill at Target. It was hard to find. It was a Target exclusive. You couldn't find it anywhere, and then people were scalping it. And what happens? Then Target did a rerun. They re-released it quietly not long ago. Why? Because they know that it sells. People want that. But how come every time I go to Ross and I go to the clearance aisle, I see the Suicide Squad figures on sale. I see the Suicide Squad in the $5 bin. I see Matt Reeves, the Batman at Target on clearance, in the rack that's like 10 and below. Like I see that at Ross, $4.99, like because it doesn't sell. Nobody cares about it. You know how many figures I've seen at Ross from Catwoman and Penguin at Ross for $4.99, and half of the time they're even overstocked more because people don't care about that. You don't see Zack Snyder's products in the clearance aisle. You know why? Because they're never gonna go there because it's quality. That's why they sell. People are willing to pay for that. That's why Comcast sees that there's potential here. And they're like, you know what? We need to capitalize. And this right here is exactly what's needed in order for the Snyderverse to get restored. I know a lot of people are right now trembling and shaking, and they're like, this can't be possible. How? How? We're supposed to be winning with DCU, not the DCEU. Exactly. I thought it was supposed to. But you know why? Because we, the fans, the consumers, and the loyal customers, we will stop at nothing. And when we said ready the Armada, that's what we meant. And here we are still fighting this invisible war symbolically, right? When it comes to the fans getting and asking for what they want. 2021, we proved it. We showed you. We said we were going to get the Snyder Cut in due time, and it took us 5 years, but we got it. And don't come here and tell me, oh, well, the studio didn't have any content to put out. No, no, no. They have plenty of content. They still have plenty of content with other stuff. It's just people are not interested in what they're trying to put out. They gave us the Snyder Cut. Their servers got flooded online and crashed. People were backed up waiting all over the world to see Zack Snyder's Justice League. What other movie in today's world has done the same? Let me know. None. Exactly. That's the whole point. We're making history, people. We're making history, my friends. We are being part of history right before our eyes. And the same thing is happening. You all remember when WB, the head, and Sarnoff at the time, right? Because remember, she had it with Zack and she didn't want to put out the Snyder Cut. And she's like, oh, we want to thank Zack for his trilogy. And, we're going to be moving away and we're going to be doing this and blah, blah, blah. Where she's at today? Oh, that's right. She doesn't work at WB anymore. And what do we have today? Oh, that's right. We got the Snyder Cut released. Oh, and the same way how people are right now repeating history in the sense of you guys are never going to get the Snyderverse restored. You guys are never gonna get the Snyder Cut released, and boom, we have it, and they know it. This is why we, the fans, continue to do what we're doing. That's the beautiful part about it. All right, let me look at some more comments. I see y'all posting, so drop your comments as I read them. All right, you want the life-size statues? Yeah, they got a whole bunch of statues when it comes to Zack Snyder's content and all that stuff. I understand that Suicide Squad theatrical wasn't what we were promised, but the Blu-ray extended cut is better. Yes, that is true. The Blu-ray extended cut is a lot better. But you know what's better than that? The Ayer cut. All right, so Dark Side saying, "Ready the Armada, we will use the old ways," was freaking unbelievable. Man, so impactful and meaning and menacing. Yep, that's true. Ahead of its time. Zack is ahead of the game, always. Gunverse will flop. Yes, it will. Yes. How could they not continue such an epic story? Oh, they will continue it. It's just right now on pause. You'll see. It'll make a comeback, and it's already making a comeback. Slowly, but it's getting there. The bridge is being repaired. Snyderverse is the future. Exactly, and the future's now. It all started with Zack Snyder's Justice League and us, the fans, that we made it possible. That's forever going to go down in history that we, the fans, made that possible. I don't care what anybody says. We made that possible because of the fan service and the fan demand, and we were all there united against a studio. The same way how we the fans came together and told Paramount, we will not accept that Sonic the Hedgehog in the first trailer that they had put. What did they do? They went back, edited, fixed it, and now they're in a trilogy of Sonic. So that's the same way that we, the fans, spoke and we told them exactly how we felt. And now it's WB's turn to feel what we, the fans, want and have been asking for all these years. All right, I enjoyed the extended cut, but I would love to see the original version because it ties into the Snyderverse more than we think. Yes, that's true. Let's not forget, there's supposed to be a lot of Jared Leto scenes that did not make it to the final cut from Suicide Squad, and we need to see those. And not only that, there's a lot of Ben Affleck scenes too that did not make the final cut for Suicide Squad from David Ayer. And we also know that Steppenwolf was supposed to appear in Suicide Squad as one of the main villains and whatever stuff like that. So I want to see how all that connects leading into Zack Snyder's Justice League. Of course, there's a whole bunch of things that we want to see on the Snyder Cut. All right, indeed, my friend, the story, the universe is just epic. Very epic. Indeed, it is. One, Aquaman was also ruined. I remember Aquaman, there was supposed to be a callback to Man of Steel. Aqua sent the what? The whales to protect Clark after the oil rig explosion. Yes, yes, that's true. All right. So the whole thing with, all right, let's go back to Aquaman real quick while we're on the topic. All right. Let's not forget the first Aquaman did so good financially, right? Because James Wan was consulting and he was talking with Zach. Hey, what do you want to do? What would you do? You know, the ideas and stuff like that. He was going off of the ideas from what Zach, originally had in his layout. And of course, James Wan, he changed his stuff and he put it his ways and stuff like that. But let's not forget the main problem was going on behind the scenes that a lot of people forget. We had Toby Emmerich, that he was making Zach's life completely impossible with his projects and stuff that he was putting out. And on top of that, we were switching because that's where it all began. It all began with the Hamadaverse coming into full effect. Remember, it started switching after and during Aquaman. During the beginning, the middle, and after Aquaman is like you want to say, okay, the Snyderverse is kind of coming to an end, but now the Hamadaverse is slowly wrapping its vines, and then it goes into Aquaman, then it goes into Shazam. That's where we fully got into the whole transition of the Hamadaverse, like trying to leave back what Zach was doing and stuff like that. So, but it is what it is, and we'll get what we want in due time, and it's gonna come. So, Aquaman's portrayal in Zack Snyder's Justice League was also wicked. They really showed his power and mindset, which was better and more grounded than was shown in the first Aquaman, which was rather lighthearted. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Look, honestly, I still haven't seen Aquaman 2. I don't plan on seeing it. Maybe one day I'll see it, but just right now, and look, we're almost a year into it. We're in September. We're like what, 3 months away from December, almost a year away since it released. I'm just not in a rush to watch that movie, honestly. And I get it. Jason Momoa's from the Snyderverse, and it's just not the same anymore. The first one was good. I'm not interested in the second one. And yes, in the Snyder Cut, they made him connect to the events from the first Aquaman and stuff like that, and even Mara. So it was what it was. But we'll keep on going until we get Zack Snyder's Justice League, the second one. All right, so let's see. All right, so just as inspired by Superman. Yes, that's true. Darkseid made Thanos look like yeah, he did big time. Jared Leto figure him wearing that bat suit is intriguing. Yes, yes. That whole thing with the concept art and it wasn't originally in David Ayer's plans, but I know what you're talking about with Joker wearing the suit from Ben Affleck's Batman with the purple and I think the green. I made a custom figure on that. Probably I'll do a review on it soon and share it with y'all so y'all can see the custom that I made. But yeah, that was dope. But that wasn't in David Ayer's original plans. That was just some for Hot Toys that they were doing the ideas and stuff like that. So, but yeah, who knows what else they were gonna do with it. Juan probably has an alternative cut. Yeah, he does. From what we heard, there is a different cut that he has. So, I'm shocked this is happening. Yep, this is, but don't be shocked. You know why? This shouldn't shock many of us because we know that in due time, the Snyderverse is going to make a comeback. DC with WB, they can't go so far with what they're doing with James Gunn because all it's doing is it's just going down to the ground, sadly. I wish it wasn't, but I'm gonna be real with you. And don't ask me. Look at the box office numbers. They're not doing good. They are not performing well, and people are not watching these movies. So that tells you that they're in deep trouble. So, financially, they need to take action and do what's best. Like I've been saying for a while, WB is going to be forced to do two things: sell the studio, which I doubt they're going to want to sell it, or two, just restore the Snyderverse, release the Ayer Cut, and just continue the Snyderverse. That's it. What's so hard with that? And that's where I see where Comcast is coming into play right now. And they're the ones that are probably going to do this. I get it. A lot of us are like, well, what if Netflix? And Zach said that if Netflix had the rights, yes, that could be another possibility too. But do you really think WB is gonna be like, here, we're gonna sell you the rights to that? No. And realistic, why would they do that? Look, I don't oppose the whole sells Snyderverse to Netflix. No, I'm down with that. I stand with restore the Snyderverse and release the Ayer Cut. Restore the Snyderverse is just in general for whoever. If Comcast, Netflix, Sony, whoever the hell wants to buy it, they're going to continue and restore the Snyderverse because there's money there. All right, that's what I mean when I say just restore the Snyderverse in general. All of that falls into that. Now, this right here is a good business move for the studio because they're like, yo, we could take this weight off of us, let somebody else handle it. And if Comcast, which Comcast can afford it, they have the money. I mean, they run this cable company. This ain't nothing to them, you know? And some people are like, well, what about the actors and actresses? They won't come back. Yes, they will. They'll come back. They hear us, they see us, they know what's up. They'll be back. All right. Shane, we lost Mattel toys. Yeah, but let's be real also. McFarlane is doing an awesome job with it. I still like the Mattel toys that we got from, whole DCU and stuff like that. But, it is what it is. And then again, Mattel was slacking. So that's why they lost the license and stuff in the first place. All right. So I have a lot of hope on this rumor. Exactly. Not a hope. That hope has to have a lot of faith, a lot of endurance, a lot of motivation, and just keep going. You can't give up. Remember, it took us 5 long years to get the Snyder cut. It didn't happen overnight. It took us 5 long years, and we had to put up with everybody's mockery for 5 years. And the same thing they're doing again. They're making fun of us. I put a comment and I say restore Snyderverse, and people put the little laughing ha 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 emoji. Okay, that just shows you that that it's going to happen. So it is what it is. And again, the numbers don't lie. The box office, that's where we're getting them. Just keep those wallets closed. You don't want to support it, just keep your wallets closed. All right, plain and simple. That's it. All right, Snyderverse only needs to be in theaters. Yes. Now look, now that you're saying that, let's talk about this. Right. I'll read one more and then we'll get into that. I'm gonna hold that one. All right. Um. All right. All right. So look, check it out. Let's talk about that real quick. Snyderverse only needs to be in theaters. Yes, that's true. But here's the big but. Hear me out, everybody. But you can add more and expand more to that theatrical run streaming. How? Okay. Ben Affleck's Batman. Give him his standalone film only in theaters. That's fine. Okay. So what about on streaming? What can you do? All right. On streaming, we're gonna have the buildup of Batman with Robin more in depth as they were in Gotham, those 30 years, and Joker came into play. We see the other point of view to expand that universe and make it more deep, more juicier, more chunky, more detailed. Everything of what's going on in that universe and why it led to what we see in the theater. You get what I'm saying? The same thing with Deathstroke, with Deadshot, and the list continues. Arkham Asylum, all that good stuff. The same thing we can get with Man of Steel. Of course, Man of Steel 2 in the theaters, Man of Steel 3 in theaters. But then on streaming, we could have small events of what happened after Black Adam and Amanda Waller comes in and tells, Black Adam about Superman. We could fill in those gaps. You can do so much to fill in all of those things that you can't fully put into a theater just because it's gonna make the movie now instead of a 2 hour run, it's gonna make it into a 6 hour run. So get all that extra stuff and throw it on streaming. Now you have two characters, two IPs, Batman and Superman in the DCEU from Zack Snyder and with David Ayer. If you want to do something with him, hell, bring in also James Wan and do something with Aquaman. You get what I'm saying? You can fill in all those gaps. And now you're building more to everything within that universe. You're expanding it. You're doing so much depth where people are going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the other point of view, if you want to say, and that's what you can build off and you can get away with that on streaming. Something to what they're probably doing right now with the Penguin. They're probably going to show us how he gets power, how he becomes to what we saw leading into the movie of the Batman. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's probably going to show us all of that. Of course, they're not going to put in Batman because it's just focusing on Penguin. But at the same time, it's a missed opportunity because how are you going to have Batman not appear against this crime boss in Gotham? It just doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? So you can fill in all those gaps when it comes to content like that and stuff like that. So, yes, having the Snyderverse exclusive movies in theaters like Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, of course. Imagine doing a Gotham City Sirens with David Ayer. Put that exclusive on the theaters. And then of course you do your, whatever time frame you want to do it on and stream it on Max. You get what I'm saying? So there's so much that they can do, especially like I've been saying, the future is going to be all streaming. Let's look at it like that. Probably the theaters are just going to be around and they're going to be for like certain special movies, if you want to say, like of course Avengers and Justice League and something big and massive on that scale, and probably standalone films. But anything else, you can just use your streaming service. And that's where probably Comcast comes into play. And they're like, you know what? We want to use that and we want to max our profits on that. You get what I'm saying? So they're like, why not? Let's see what we can do. Hopefully all this does come forth. And I see that it is. I see, it's just so many updates that we've been getting here and there lately that it's just not a coincidence. I think this is just happening because this is exactly what's happening behind the scenes. And you get what I'm saying? Like things are shifting. Now this is me speculating what I'm gonna say right now. But don't be surprised if what James Gunn is doing right now is trying to screw up with the plans because now supposedly Rick Flag, that his character ended in what it was, the Suicide Squad, and then he's now coming over to the new DCU. The dad and now his son Rick Flag that was in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, and then you have of course Amanda Waller that she's from the DCEU from David Ayer, but she's going over to James Gunn's DCU. You see what he's trying to do? He's just trying to like screw things up. That's what it looks like. Like he's trying to screw all that up because he could have casted somebody else. Why is he keeping these characters? That's from David Ayer. Amanda Waller with Viola Davis is from the universe and selected from David Ayer. If it wasn't for David Ayer, James Gunn would not have that actress playing that character. And the same thing with Captain Boomerang. Now there's a rumor going around that he might come back to reprise his role as a variant of Boomerang. Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? So it would be very good if Comcast were to acquire and get all of these negotiations done ASAP so all of this can be fixed. But let's not forget, with the power of the Flash, we already saw it. James Gunn pretty much screwed himself because he tried to erase what Zack created. And then in the Flash, what we saw him going backwards, resetting time, is the same way that we saw what Zack did to fix Justice League and give us the proper Justice League with Zack Snyder's cut that we saw in 2021. He went back, fixed the timeline, repaired that whole damage that was done by the studio and Joss Whedon, and then Zack gave us the true vision of the Flash, resetting time and restoring that timeline. So the same thing can happen right now. Zack can always come back, use the Flash with the multiverse, and reset the events that are happening. He can go back and erase Peacemaker, erase Shazam, erase all these characters that were a complete mess and bring what he wants and how he wants it. The same thing with David Ayer. That would be amazing. It would be amazing. The possibilities are endless. Yeah, cool that I'm live streaming this. Yes, nobody's really right now talking about it. So it's something urgent that we need to address, honestly, and who better than with you, the fans, my audience, it's like, this is why I'm here. I'm here fighting with y'all, fighting for y'all. I'm taking all the hits. It's all good, but we're here because many don't want us to keep on fighting. They want us to be discouraged, to give up. No, no. I got thick skin. Let's go at it. All right, let me keep on reading some comments. Thank y'all to everybody that's watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel. And Sarnoff immediately told fans, you will get more. Literally a couple of days after Zack Snyder Justice League was released. Petty. Yep. No honor among thieves, eh? The Flash. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that line from when he said it in Suicide Squad with what's his name? Captain Boomerang. That was another thing too. Let's take this moment and appreciate what David Ayer gave us when it came to the cameos of what the Snyderverse characters. This is why a lot of people don't get. Like the Snyderverse and the Ayerverse. And when I say the Ayerverse, I'm referring to what David Ayer gave us with Suicide Squad. All right. They were both connected. Two different worlds, same tone, same style, same vision, but different takes. David Ayer did his thing. He brought in Ben Affleck, the same Ben Affleck we had just got from Batman versus Superman. Everything same. All right. Chef's kiss. Best Batman. And what did he do? He put him and introduced him to face off Joker in that car chase with the same Batmobile. How awesome and amazing is that? That is quality, my friends. That is quality. That right there connects like 100%. How and why the studio did not continue with that just completely leaves me blank. I'm like, why? Such potential. That's why I'm thankful and grateful for both Zack Snyder and David Ayer. All right. Zack, because he brought back Jared Leto to reprise his role for Zack Snyder's Justice League at that epilogue scene. And we saw that Jared Leto did amazing in that scene. So amazing that we want more. I want more. Maybe you might not, but I want more of Jared Leto in this universe. Not any other universe. This one, the DCEU. That's the universe that that I care about and I'm interested. I'm not interested in Matt Reeves' universe. I'm not interested in James Gunn's universe. I don't care about those universes. Hell, I like Tim Burton, but I'm not even interested in that universe. I'm just interested in Zack Snyder, his DCEU, David Ayer in the DCEU. How and what connects? How does this all make sense? See what I'm saying? That's what I want more of. All right. Now I can't do the I can't let nobody join because I'm already live. Once I'm live, I can't send no invites to anybody because I already have it set up where it's just a one person on it. If anything, we'll set up something for next time and then we can stream some, but we gotta plan it ahead. All right, wasn't David Ayer's Suicide Squad the same universe as the whole Snyderverse? Is part of it. They are not separate things. Okay, like I just said, David Ayer's Suicide Squad are introducing and giving us new characters. Same style, same tone. You see the atmosphere. They're both dark in the sense of not that it's dark and R-rated. No, I'm talking about that it's dark. Like their clothes look torn down. You have more shadows. It's a darker world. It's not bright and cheerful like we see in Shazam. Shazam is colorful, it's bright, it's more Disney. It's like a more MCU film. David Ayer and his Suicide Squad had that darker vision and darker tone, as in how what Zack Snyder gave us with Batman versus Superman. You know, that the same city, the same world, the same thing, but they both had different visions. The same thing with James Wan. James Wan used Jason Momoa, Aquaman, but he gave us a different take on Aquaman. But it's still, if you put all three of those movies and play them back to back, along with Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, and Superman, Man of Steel, they all flow like if you're watching one big movie. They have the same filter. Like it's just something about it that's just so unique because the director's take on each film, you can see everybody's style. But in general, when you look back, all four of those movies, they all fit properly. You get what I'm saying? You don't have Superman cracking jokes like Shazam. You don't have that. You know, it's just one nice serious tone where it just feels right and it just sits right. I don't know, something about it. You know, another thing too, when you see Ben Affleck's cameo, and it's not just in the beginning, you see it in the end, it's setting up something because let's not forget, you have Amanda Waller talking and eating with Bruce Wayne. And then she's like, you know, be careful with your friends because, you know, and he was already rounding up the Justice League. Now, let's see. Because remember, in Batman versus Superman, Ben Affleck's Batman, Bruce Wayne, tells Wonder Woman in the cemetery when when Clark is gone that there's a war coming. He just feels it. She's like, how are you so sure? He's like, I just know it. Something is coming. It's setting us up. Remember, it was Dawn of Justice. The Justice League isn't introduced yet. We're barely getting the glimpse of them. And then we get Suicide Squad from David Ayer. And then in Suicide Squad, this is what I appreciate from him. We have to appreciate this. The cameo from The Flash with Captain Boomerang. We have to appreciate the cameo of Ben Affleck's Batman with Joker and Harley. That's amazing. I'm like, whoa, I, how do you not continue with that? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, how do you not continue with that? The same thing when you see the first Wonder Woman, the picture with her and the team, and then it connects into Batman versus Superman. That's the same picture that was there, that war picture. Yo, those little small details is what adds so much to it. It's like you can expand in this universe that you have no idea. The potential is endless. You know, it's just so much. There's just like, how do you not continue with that? If WB would have allowed David Ayer and Zack Snyder to fully cook and say, look, you guys do what you got to do. We're going to step away, do your thing. WB would have been on top, above Marvel right now, above the Avengers. There would be no Avengers. Honestly, there wouldn't, because what Zack was doing was way ahead of the game. The Avengers is pretty much a copy and paste of what Zack did already. And then it just puts it in the point where it's like, damn, WB, like, how do you not continue with that universe? Especially knowing how awesome and great it is. The tone, the music. Oh, don't even get me started with the music. The cinematic music that we get in all of the DCEU films are amazing. What Zach gave us with Junkie XL, when you heard that first theme of Wonder Woman, when she comes into play, you can't tell me that's epic. That's not. That is not epic. That is amazing. That's cinema quality. That is quality right there. You don't get the same with James Gunn. Who here can tell me that they were excited to see James Gunn's The Suicide Squad and were on the edge of their seat waiting like when you first saw Batman versus Superman? None. I wasn't. I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. The first 5 minutes told me everything. I was like, this movie's going to be so corny, so cheesy. I'm already cringing, and we're not even at 5 minutes in. That's bad. But when Batman vs. Superman starts, what do you see? When Bruce, as a kid running through the cemetery, he's having these flashbacks and he falls into a hole with the bat. Oh, this is setting up something nice. And then you see his parents when it goes down. Yo, like that cinema, the music, A Beautiful Lie. Just rewatch that. Let those 5 minutes take you away and get into that scene like you're watching it, like you're right there. I don't remember that with James Gunn. I can't remember. All I remember is the stupid jokes and just like the perverted jokes that he puts. That's how bad it is. But I don't remember nothing from that movie and how stupid it was. But with Zack Snyder and what David Ayer gave us, it was like, whoa, chef's kiss. I want more of that. Look, when we see the scene with Ben Affleck's Batman and he faces off real quick when he comes face to face with Deadshot, I was like, yo, this is what we need. This right here is what Marvel's doing. They have that. Why can't we get that over here? Imagine that. HBO Max, right? Comcast announces, boom, we get Ben Affleck, the Batman series or whatever. Give it a 6 episode series. One focusing him against Deathstroke, him against Deadshot, him against whatever character, Scarecrow, him against, like what they were gonna do with Batgirl, Firefly. The possibilities are endless. There's so much potential these characters have, and they deserve all that screen time. Okay, you can't put them in the theaters, at least hint at it, but then take it to HBO Max and do the rest on there to show you and to expand that universe. That's what I'm like. Well, why you guys didn't continue with that? There's quality. People are willing to pay for that. I'm willing to pay for that. I'll be like, you know what? I want to see it. I can't wait. Sign me up. But they don't offer that. And that's what Netflix is doing right now. Netflix with Rebel Moon is crushing it. Army of the Dead, for the ones that like it, crushing it. And the list continues. And now we got Twilight of the Gods coming out. So what does that tell you? It's quality. It's all quality. It's a little bit of everything. Zach is catering to everybody. And that's what DC needs. DC needs that. You can't say that right now that DC is doing that. They're not. I'm not excited for nothing that DC is putting out right now. Now go ahead and announce that you're restoring the Snyderverse and you're releasing the Ayer Cut. Sign me up. I'm gonna be the first one in line. Let's go. Because that's where the quality is at. People want that type of service. They want that type of entertainment. I get it. It's not for everybody. But for the most part, that's what people want. All right, I'm gonna read comments. So drop your comments. I'm looking at them right now. All right, Adam was going to have a solo movie after Zack Snyder's Justice League. Exactly, they were building to that. They brought him on board. They were setting it up, and if we would have gotten, what is it, Adam, like they had said when what is it when Marvel released their Shang-Chi, whatever it's called, that Zack Snyder DC would have been the first ones to put an Asian type superhero on the big screen. But again, they let time pass and then Marvel beat them to it. It's just possibilities are endless. It's crazy. It's insane. You know, yeah, for sure. I wanted to see a Cyborg movie also. Remember, Cyborg was supposed to be in the Flash originally, in the original plans, but then of course what happened with Walter Hamada, with Joss Whedon, Ray Fisher said, I'm not gonna come for the Flash, and he didn't. It's a shame because that movie would have been 5 times better than what we got. But again, it's under the leadership right now of James Gunn, so that even didn't turn out that good. And remember that they were like, "Oh, the Flash is gonna be the best thing that you've seen since The Dark Knight," and look at how bad that movie tanked. And that's why I'm telling you, Superman's the next one to tank. Creature Commandos, they're gonna give us fake reviews and say everybody's watching it. Nobody's watching that crap. And they're gonna try to tell us, hey, it's the best show that everybody's watching. No, it's not. Nobody's asking for that. I'm disappointed that we never got a Cyborg solo movie. That would have been amazing. Yes, that would have been amazing. Yeah, with James Gunn, that's all we got. None but perverted jokes and dumb, goofy silliness stuff. But it is what it is. But that's what I'm telling y'all. It's just a matter of time. And as we get more into it, I've been saying this for a while. A lot of people have been saying the same thing too. But I, as a fan, I see that the Snyderverse it's coming. It's on the way. It's on the way. It's being prepared right before our eyes, and we don't even know it. Now, like I said, why would David Ayer post that picture of him at the WB water tower, like he's going into the studio, or probably leaving? I'm speculating. Going in to negotiate, coming out, the deal is done. We're moving forward. Oh, that would have been amazing. But something is coming from it. I'm telling y'all. This is not this is not coincidence. All these things are not just happening just because they're happening. These are things that are happening because they're probably already in effect, and we're just waiting for the proper time for them to announce it. The same way that James Gunn was moving in the shadows in the background while Henry Cavill was there, Ben Affleck was there, Gal was there, Ray Fisher, Ezra, and he changed everything because he wants to do his take and his vision. Okay, that's fine. Probably right now things are moving like a chess piece right before his eyes, and he can't do anything about it. He has no say over it, and he's seeing how things are moving without him being consulted, considered, or anything, and he knows that he has no authority over it. Oh, that's gonna be lovely. And then boom, surprise. That's probably what's coming. Batgirl would have been something honestly that I wanted to see. I get what we were all talking, we were making fun of it and stuff like that, because of course that was gonna be the beginning of the DCU, but that was canned. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it got canned because that's what was gonna happen. I think it got canned because it was going to connect more into the Snyderverse and the Burtonverse. Because remember, we had Michael Keaton in it, but we also were going to have Ben Affleck, that she was also, meaning Batgirl was also going to be the Batgirl of the DCEU, meaning she would have been fighting alongside with Ben Affleck's Batman, while Michael Keaton was training her, like in her early days or whatever it is, to become Batgirl. Because let's not forget, the actor, I forgot his name, but Jim Gordon is the same one we got from Zack Snyder's Justice League, the same actor. So, the continuity was all there. But of course, James Gunn just had to come in and screw up everything and say, you know what? We're not going to do this because this connects too much into the Snyderverse. And we can't do that. We can't have that. Notice how everything that's with the Snyderverse, it's a no no for James Gunn. But things are going to change. Like the same way, remember in Batman Returns when I think it was oh yeah, it was when Penguin was telling Batman and they face off, and Batman's like, "You're not the mayor," and Penguin's like, "Things change," and then Batman stays quiet, and then Penguin tells him, "You don't think you'll really win, do you?" And then Batman tells him, "Things change." That's the same thing with this. When people are like, "Oh, well, James Gunn's gonna do this," da, 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 he, all right, that's cool. Keep on thinking what you're thinking, but in the end, things change, and that's what I think is happening right now. Things are already in play. Like everything is just moving. It's moving. It's just a matter of time. Zack Snyder's DC universe is a work of art, a triumph that must be completed. I agree. I agree. Did Keaton ever have a Robin? He was supposed to have a Robin in Batman Forever, the third one, but let's not forget what happened. Michael Keaton didn't come back for the third movie because Tim Burton, he wasn't going to direct the third movie. He produced the third movie. If you look at it now, Batman Forever is produced by Tim Burton, but is directed by Joe Schumacher. So Michael Keaton didn't want to do the movie with Joe Schumacher. That's why they brought in Val Kilmer to replace Michael Keaton. At the time, it was like a last minute thing, and they were supposed to have originally in the original plans with Tim Burton, Robin, which was I think Damian Wayne. He was supposed to be in Batman Returns, but they changed the script and then they wanted to bring him. That's why we got him in Batman, or was it Batman Forever, that he finally made his appearance. And if you look at the toy line from Kenner back in 1992 with the Batman Returns, they actually have for the line a Robin toy that's official from Kenner from Batman Returns. That's what he was supposed to make his debut. And remember, toys get released before the movie comes out, so they could sell toys, merch and all that stuff. And then of course they scrapped the plans and they did what they did, and we ended up getting Batman Forever, and that's where we got the introduction of Robin. And it is what it is, but we didn't have Michael Keaton. The true DCU must return. I agree. That's the true DCU right there. It was amazing. It really was. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I appreciate all of y'all that are watching. Everybody subscribe, all that good stuff. Because thanks to y'all, I'm here and I'm motivated talking to y'all, because this is what we need. We need this type of positive encouragement. And that's what I'm here for, to help you and to give you that encouragement. I get it. Some people are like, oh no, they just don't want to see us winning. But that's all we do here. We win. And together, us united, there's no stopping us. And they know it. The Gun Bros know that we will stop at nothing, and they know that quality is with Zack Snyder and David Ayer, because there's a huge fan demand still there. If it wasn't for that, we would have never gotten the Snyder Cut. And not only that, we would have never gotten the Snyder Cut on physical media. And if you go to anywhere that sells physical media, you'll see that they're selling it. It's still there, even if it's in stock or not. I go to Target, I don't see the Snyder Cut in stock. It's always sold out. What does that tell you? It's selling till this day. But I go to Walmart, I see the clearance, the whole, that bin where they put the clearance stuff. All of that's overstocked with what's his name? James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, a movie that came out like 4 years ago. Nobody cares about it. For $5, people don't even want it. When they put it on what it was on Netflix, nobody was watching it either. It's like it tells you a lot. That just tells you where the fans want to spend their time and spend their money at. We will never stop. True, true. We have to keep on fighting this good fight, and in due time it's gonna happen. That's why I have to say, like, I really appreciate everything that Zack and David Ayer did for us and the cast, because like, without them we wouldn't be having any of this, and it's just amazing. It's just how everything falls into play. Everything connects, from the music, the backgrounds, the foregrounds, the costumes. Let's give credit. These costumes that DC puts out, when Zack and David Ayer were there, it was just quality. It was quality. Everything after that has just been like, yo, you could see. Look, realistic, let's look at it. When Zack and David Ayer were there, you could tell that WB had money and they were willing to go far to invest in their IP with all of these characters. You could see the quality. You could see it in everything. Now James Gunn is on board. You could see how cheap they've gotten. The Flash was cheap. What is it? Shazam 2 was extra cheap. Black Adam was good. You could tell that The Rock, Dwayne, he was fighting for that. So that was good. I'll give him that. But what we got in the end product is like, damn, that's it. It's not going anywhere. And when it comes down to all these costumes that we got after, like Zack Snyder and David Ayer, they just been cheaper and cheaper every time. Like, you might as well just look at Peacemaker. Do I need to go far? Peacemaker's costume. Oh wow, he's the only one that still resembles a little bit of the DCU, but his partner, whatever his name is, I don't remember his name. The dude with the helmet. Look at how cheap that looks. He's just wearing a spandex with a little bit of wannabe armor on top of it. I'm like, that looks like a terrible cosplay. It's like, wow, that's pretty bad. Like, you can see the costumes, the backgrounds. It just looks a lot more cheaper compared to what we were getting before. All right. The fake fans are the ones who write Gun Suicide Squad but hated everything on other DC movies. Yep, that's true. Gunn is protected. His projects are on HBO Max with his daddy and Zaslav controlling the narrative. That's true. Oh man, yeah, they're just trying to promote what is that, Peacemaker. Same people are just cynical, love pouring haterade on our hopes. The film junkie is a prime example of that. I used to watch him. No, I can't say the same anymore, honestly. Flip flop junkie. Man, that sucks. He only responded to one of my comments once, and I was like, oh, about Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse. And he completely like shut me down. I was like, okay, that's cool. It is what it is. But all right. But yeah, that's how it is when it comes to all this, like, look, the best and the only thing I can tell everybody is don't give up. Don't give up on faith. Don't give up on hope. And don't lose motivation, and always stay enduring, because we need it. And we know how WB is. They're going to try to make it seem like, oh, these are the best shows, and, they're doing great. And, we don't need the Snyderverse. We're doing with James Gunn. And we already know that it's not doing well because they're tanking at the box office. If the box office is underperforming, that tells you everything. That means that it's not going well. And when it comes down to it, we're going to keep on going for what we believe in. And we're here to back up Zack Snyder, support his vision, support everything that he wants to put. And the same thing with David Ayer. Remember, David Ayer recently was putting, released the Ayer Cut. But then earlier this year, he got tired and he came out. He was like, oh, I'm giving up. I'm done. I just want my movie release. And he went quiet for a bit. And all of a sudden, and you all know that I've been pushing, look at all my videos, for release the Ayer Cut and restore the Snyderverse. All right. I'm one of the few that are still out there talking about it. And what happened? Then David Ayer all of a sudden got motivated and he put it out there. He was like, "Yo, release the Ayer Cut." He started getting back on it. Boom. We got to get that ball rolling. It doesn't stay rolling on its own. It's up to us. All right. And the same thing when it comes to Jared Leto. He posted that he was going, like that he's down with release the Ayer Cut. And he put pictures on his Instagram of him as Joker. He was like, release the Ayer Cut. So that tells you a lot, and that's what it comes down to it. That's why we're here still going at it. A lot of these channels are on payroll. They really want early access. Yep, that's true. I'm not a sellout, so I don't need early access. If I want to, I find my ways. Don't worry. But I'm sure. Like I said, when I went to go see those movies from DC recently, I was like, hey, it came to me. Might as well just watch it. But I'm not paying for those movies, honestly. Didn't Peter Safran? I was saying Shazam's Cavill's cameo in the end of the film being that tone that it was dark. What was it? It was a Donner scores. Yeah, Donner. Yeah, the whole thing. Peter Safran's another one too. He's not out of the mix. Peter Safran's another one. He's put in the face. James Gunn hides it, and David Zaslav is just there in the middle. He doesn't even know what's going on. But yeah, that's pretty much what he wanted. We want Suicide Squad, the David Ayer cut, Wonder Woman with the scary looking Ares, Batman versus Deathstroke, Man of Tomorrow, Wonder Woman, Gods and Mortals, and Zack Snyder's Justice League sequels. Yes, exactly. History repeats. Yep, it's repeating again, but it's just a matter of time. They're changing, shifting for the good on our favor, and that's the good thing. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Saffron and Zaslav, they have no idea what they're doing, honestly. But it is what it is. But yeah, so well, I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm about to get going. This was something we had to talk about. This cannot be ignored. Hey, what's going on, Cody? Awesome. I see you. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, this was something that we really needed to talk about, and I appreciate all of y'all for watching because just this is a history making headlines again. And to everybody that's doubting it and saying that it's not going to happen, just accept it. The fact is, the Snyderverse is making, and it's going to make a comeback stronger than before. And the Ayer Cut is going to get released. It's going to happen. I'm telling y'all, especially with this whole thing. Um, I could see it. I see the potential in this, and knowing Comcast is all about money, and in this business, you have to be. You just have to be about it. So it is what it is, and you just can't give up. You just cannot give up. Now, another thing too that I do want to talk about while I'm on this stream is just for everybody. I want to say something real quick. All right. So whoever's interested, all right, let me know because I'm going to be doing a limited run of T-shirts for Restore the Snyderverse. So whoever wants to get one, let me know. They're going to be for pre-orders only, and everybody that's interested and wants one, let me know. Send me a message, all that good stuff, because we need to express our message, and what better way than a T-shirt, and that right there is going to be something that's going to be good. So they're going to be for pre-order only. I'm going to do a limited run, so whoever orders one will be the one that can get one. But I'm gonna have more info for y'all and stuff like that. So that's already in the works right now. It should be coming out very soon. So whoever's interested in stuff like that, let me know on that. But yeah, so I'm gonna get going. I appreciate everybody that's been watching, all that good stuff. Thank you, great live stream. This was something we had to talk about, and it was very important because for us that we're fighting for the Snyderverse and the Ayer Cut, this is something that needs to be more people need to talk about it, and that's exactly what this all comes down to. So, but yeah, so as soon as something else comes up, I'll go up and let y'all know, post a video and all that stuff. So we will keep on going and stuff like that. So y'all stay safe, have a good Sunday, and catch you on the next live stream. Appreciate y'all, and as always, until next time, peace.